Before I get started, I know it's just week one. We still got a long season ahead of us. And we can all say Cowboys played a great game. What a great start. We didn't get blown out and all that. But Ceedee Lamb, come on, man. Seriously. Okay, when Dak has a bad game, other players play great. But guess what? Tonight, if the Cowboys won this game, game ball would have been to Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott played man, this dude was throwing dimes. And how many times did Ceedee Lamb drop the ball? It was exciting, when the game, first started kicking off, going down the field. It was just score after score from each football team, the Cowboys and Eagles. And I was looking at that defense. Our defense looked a little shaky. I saw Donovan Azaraku, looking like a rookie out there, but he was making some good plays. But I could tell he was getting pushed around a little bit. He was getting pushed into the inside. Saquon Barkley was going on to the outside. And I didn't understand there was no quarterback, QB contain, QB spy, or whatever, because every time when Hurts, had nowhere to throw, looks like our corners did a job. We shut down Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. I know they have injury issues, but we shut them down. But Hurts just kept on bailing the Eagles out in the first half. And all of a sudden, of course, we go through that delay, But, man, Dak Prescott was making great throws. And I'm mad at Ceedee. Like, this dude gets paid millions. He's supposed to be the star wide receiver, and this dude ain't making no plays. Down the field, drop. A good slant or a short post, drop. And then that last one, Chris Collinsworth saying, "Oh, tough catch, tough catch." No, he dropped it. When it was right there, he could have held on to it and just pulled that in and catch that. His hands was bouncing all over the place, man, with that ball. Yeah, I picked the Eagles to win this game. But like always, there's always got to be something that I got to get all worked up about. Because if Ceedee Lamb was on point, we probably would have won that game. If Ceedee Lamb made those catches and was on point, with Dak Prescott and the rest of that offense, we would have won that game. And yeah, Miles Sanders, fumbled. Yeah, he had that big run, but you didn't see him since then. After that fumble. But yeah, whatever. We could talk about that Dak Prescott and Jalen Carter thing, At first, we saw Jalen Carter get ejected from the game, for spitting. But it shows that Dak Prescott did it, and he came up. But Jalen Carter did it pretty much at him, and the referee saw it. So Jalen Carter shouldn't have done that against, right by the referee, yes. But how that started, and then that first, I don't celebrate injuries, but then that first injury on that kickoff with the Eagles player, I forgot his name. I was like, man, things are going to go pretty good. Like, I felt it. I was like, man, Cowboys going to ball out, which we did. But that delay slowed the rest of the game down. It was 4:44 in the third quarter left when we started back from the delay, and nobody scored since. But we could have scored if Ceedee Lamb would have caught those balls. So it is a team game, but I put this on Ceedee Lamb. Ceedee Lamb lost us the ball game. Cowboys lose. Ceedee Lamb chokes in week one, and that's my favorite football player. When Dak Prescott was throwing dimes. I'm hard on Dak, but I gotta give him credit in this one. He played a dang good game. Congratulations, Eagles. You got your W. The Cowboys always find a way to lose. Start off the week. It's just start off the year. It's just week one. So be it. We're 0-1. But I like the way this football team is looking right now, to be honest, y'all. We look different. I like the way Brian Schottenheimer is calling the plays. It's looking good. I don't know. He don't look so predictable. Seriously, because I remember last year, my own wife don't know much about football. And when she saw CeeDee Lamb or Turpin doing the motion, she was like, "Oh, that's gonna be a jet sweep." And sure enough, it was. I mean, even my wife knew that kind of crap. And there was quite a few plays, man. I thought something was gonna happen, and it wasn't predictable before the snap. Dak Prescott looks pretty good, man. I hope he stays healthy. I'm hard on Dak, but I'm gonna support him, man. He looked pretty good in this game. I'm mad at CeeDee. I don't know what the heck his problem was tonight. All right, guys. Congratulations. Where you hiding? Go ahead and hide behind that Eagles logo. The rest of y'all Eagles fans, hide behind that Eagles logo. Get your W. Enjoy your week, We're going to move on to the rest of the season. All right, guys. Peace.